So as you approach the car, the first thing you notice is obviously the factory ARB front bull bar with additional recovery points here, both for a high lift and big shackles for recovery. The headlights have been converted to left-hand drive, even though the car's right-hand drive. That's to comply with the Belgium regulations. Fitted with freewheeling hubs and a safari snorkel. I replaced the wing mirrors here. These were the older style long wing mirrors, and I've replaced them for these European style ones as part of getting my certificate of conformity for Europe. Here we have the second factory fitted fuel tank. First factory fuel tank, and the car carries additional water too. It's shod with new BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres, and they're the LT 235/85 16s, and I upgraded back to the factory 16-inch rim just for these tyres, to run these tyres. On the back we have an aftermarket double wheel carrier, and here I'm using the original factory 16-inch rim, which is a split rim on the rears. That's only on the rears. These are much older BF Goodrich tyres, and the idea behind that was if I was to go travelling, I had both options. I could either repair with a puncture repair kit or a tube, so it covered both scenarios, and with 6 tyres you're going to be hard pushed to have to worry too much about punctures. We've got a electrical hookup, and the tow bar all clips into here, and that's rated at 3,500 kilos, but that's just a Belgium regulation thing. In fact, it's Outback Extreme, the rear bumper. This here, there's one on each side. I used to run an awning on the back here, so that's what these are for. Unfortunately, it does cover up the original Trekker sticker. You can still see the original Australian number plate there, and just some of the places the car's travelled. The car would benefit from retinting of the rear windows, and on the roof here, excuse me, it's fitted with a clamp so that you can fit a roof bars and subsequently put your surfboards, etc. up there. All over the car there is very, very light like road rash. It's from when it was in Australia, and in Africa it got blasted with stones and sand, and unfortunately being placed in Europe where it's a lot damper, it's now just got the very, very faint marks coming through, so it would benefit from a good rub down and a repaint. This is the worst of the rust on the car here, running through here and down here. These are classic spots that they go on. The car was fitted with these rubber wheel arch extensions when it was running 15-inch wheels, and the bodywork wasn't treated when they were attached, so unfortunately all the rot and the road salt sat here and started to rust them out. But it's not gone all the way through, and it's only the first skin. When you look on the inside, it's still way better, and the chassis has a very, very, very light rust line on it. Again, that's just since it's been standing in Belgium. All the trailing arms edges here, as you can see, around the door. A little mark here under the roof. At some point somebody was having some fun and dented the doorstep into the bottom of the sill, but it didn't go through, so I think it's been there already many, many years. Then the front windscreen has 4 or 5 rather bad stone chips, or certainly 2 bad stone chips, so that will need replacing. And then when we look under the front here, I fitted the car with EFS shocks all round. I replaced the front leaf brackets and joints with aftermarket heavy-duty rubber bushings in here, as you can see, and white greased everything. Then in the back of the car, just going to climb down here. in the back I had the rear shocks rebuilt because the number 3 spring here, sorry, the rear springs rebuilt, the number 3 spring here was cracked in fact. So I had a local specialist who's still around rebuilding springs for the Volvo trucks in fact. He provided me with a new one, so we completely dismantled the springs. He supplied with a new heated one here, and then he also reheated the entire thing to give a small lift on the car as well. So it's about a 3 centimetre lift on the car, which just counteracts for it the sagging, as it was, you know, an old car that had been well driven. Under the back here is space for the hot water tank, and I don't know if you can see. And just under here we have the cold water tank, fitted with new OEM heavy duty rear brake cylinders. And as I said, that was only a few months ago. The exhaust has slight rusting on it, and the prop shaft and joints were completely rebuilt when I was in Norway, at great expense, as you can imagine.